What's up, Internet? Welcome back to Blueprints. I want to get into the run, but before I do that, we're going to switch to something that I made. I made something for everybody. Here we go. Ready? And bam! Let me pull that up. Okay. So, this is my Blueprint sigils chart. This should be pretty obvious. So, I have it just laid out so that we know exactly what information we do and do not have, and I didn't fill it completely out yet, and I'll explain this. So obviously I filled out the ones that we have done completely. So Orinda Aries is the jewel looking symbol. It's black, foggy, trains, metropolitan. Fen Aries, pentagon, red, foggy, roads and carriages, martial. And Vera, it's the puzzle piece looking one. It's pink, heat, turtle, spiritual. Done. Okay, so I have basically put in all the colors with the intention that we know what they are. I think it's all but confirmed these are what the colors are. Arch Aries is definitely yellow. Araja is definitely purple. Kororika is definitely orange. And then white and green were the last two, and we had figured out that the nuance stamp had green. The only one left was white for Morojai, and there's not a blue. So that to me made sense, and obviously the things in the parentheses are what the symbol looks like. I started doing that, and then I realized I'd have to do that for all of them, and I didn't want to do that. So what else do we know for sure? So let's start clicking through. So Arch Aries, we know for sure is stormy weather. They've made that very clear. In terms of any other places' weather, though, that's the one we are pretty light on details about. Especially because one of the options can be normal, which is really frustrating. Transportation. I thought that it's aviation, but that didn't work. So the only reason I'm doubting aviation for Arch Aries is because we know the moat for Arch Aries is almost for sure industrial. Everything that they're showing for Arch Aries is damn near the carbon copy textbook definition of industrial. So that has to be industrial. And we know Araja has to be poetic because we've seen that sliver of the sigil with the flower on it. Transportation's TBD. Kororika, we know the moat is academic because it's Kororika University, right? We know that for sure. And then from there, it's a little less clear. We don't know what the moat for Morojai is, and we don't know what the moat for Nuance is for sure. We also don't know what the transportation is for any of these places. I think it could be a strong guess that we could do aviation for Nuance because we have the blimp, right? I don't think that that's a problematic guess. And Morojai, actually, we can guess is naval, right? Because the stamp has the boat on it. So we're just kind of looking for the holes that we're filling in here. I think we're really close to Arch Aries. I think we're really close. In Araja, we should be close to Araja too. So I don't know about that one. But let's figure out, let's do some more stuff. So I'm going to mute this for a second, and we're coming back up in the game. So the thing that I want to do here, though, is try to get our classrooms, because that's the one resource that I feel like we haven't used nearly as much as we should. Mostly because I haven't gotten to 8 that many times. I think I've done it maybe twice, right? We've only done the final exam once, and there's honestly a chance we could probably do much better at the final exam now. We also have so much more. There we go. We also have so much more foresight on the classroom questions. So yeah, I think let's just let's get educated and finally be able to get our way through our wonderful sigils and classrooms and such. Let's do spare bedroom. And here we go with library. Wow, I was just saying how we haven't seen library in a very long time. Commissary, mailroom, den. Let's do mailroom because I also want to get those stamps. We have a weird start, but honestly... Realm and Rune. Let's get the history of Arindia again. Because all the drafting strategies, we've been done with those. Okay. And I want to check these books. 61 hours. 108 days. Longest days has been an hour and 36 minutes. Average days, 33 minutes. Wow. Upgrade is 13. Red letter 7. Sanctum keys 8. I hope... Yeah, we've given up on the red letter thing. I don't know what to do with that. Upgrade disc was the first item checked. Top 3 checked items. Secret garden key, torch, and battery pack. Treasure trove. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. Most drafted hallway, den, nook. Security, commissary, courtyard. Most time spent in entrance hall, library, parlor. All the contraptions. Oh, stamp collection. Oh, there's 2 more. Wait, Fen Ares we've seen. Oh, but maybe we didn't zoom in on it. Oh, that was stupid. Okay. Whoa, okay. You know what? I'm looking at this now, because these are much bigger than what they were. This looks like this has wind on the side. Like, it looks like it almost dictates it. Yeah, dude, look at this. It almost looks like this is wind on the side, and this is rain. Nursery, laundry room, locksmith. Highest grade in classroom, final exam. I feel confident in that. Because this looks like fog. This is like storm. I'm going to put that in. So I'm not going to keep switching back and forth. But I'm going to put Araja as rainy. And which is the other one? Morajai I'm going to put as windy. We're going to just see if that works. All right. So that's that. That was actually worth it. Thank you, library. Now, I hope I can get library again. That History of Arindia book seems like that also is another resource I haven't really used the way I should. I could be wrong about that, but... Classroom. I guess we should start taking a look at it, right? So this is the easy classroom. This is the one where we figure out... There's someone who has 10 out of 12, yeah. Yeah, orange, purple. So the 2 wrongs are this one and this one. Because this is yellow. Yeah, and this one they say that the heart symbol's orange. So that's for sure. That's definitely right. I don't think there's anything else. Other than the 8 up there, which I know I've clocked before, I don't think there's anything else super special about this classroom. Here's another classroom. Yeah, I mean, we've also cut the cost for the classroom, so that's really helpful. So now it's not a huge resource to have to do that. This one I think we very really get. Bedroom, hallway. Let's actually do hallway. That's maybe a mistake, but I want to just fill out and get some more resources and such. Here's classroom. Okay, that's another one. Classroom. This is 3. This is our science one. And we know how this works. We were talking about spelling stuff with the code. I don't think there's anything else in this room that's super necessary. Okay. Oh wait, this is... Oh no, spare bedroom has a route. I was gonna say this is our only only path if we do this. I want to do greenhouse, but I also don't want to increase the likelihood of green rooms. So maybe we just do den. We get an extra gem out of it. And then hopefully we can get more classrooms. Classroom. Facing the wrong way, but that's honestly fine. Okay, so this is one that I feel like we haven't really used. Let's take a look. So we know the correct... I feel really confident that we know the correct symbols for the right countries, right? I think we've attributed them correctly. So now it's just about what in the hell is this going to allow us to do? In eclipse, is eclipse. I don't see how the planets will help us. We can look at this. There's so much detail on the sides of this. Other than this, which I truly don't understand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nuance, Arinda Aries, Arch Aries, Araja. And then the other side. Kororika. This is all Kororika. This is Morajai. And yeah, look, there is a little boat on there. And then Vera. And it looks like an arid desert, which is exactly what it is. So I get most of this. This is like the equator. We see which country it's pointing to. The North Circle. And what is this? So 24 plus... If these are saying these are 8 degrees each... Wait, Tor. Wait, that's a word. That's the word we need in our cipher. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What is this? What is this depicting? The sacred circle. Oh, Rot and Tor. Well, this says Tor all the way around. Rot is here. Rot. Is Rot clockwise? Tor is counterclockwise? How would that make sense in our little cipher thing? So if Tor is counterclockwise, right now the cipher with the 6 add 6 Tor lore et, it would be 115 counterclockwise word east, which is the weirdest. I don't even know what to make of that. Where is there a... And then what is this? I don't get it. Unless it has to do with this. Oh, I don't know. Okay. So something revealed there. I have a tour. Let's keep going. Let's go up through den. Oh, Jesus, locked. Okay, right. I have to actually play the game correctly. Yeah, I need Nook at least. Sleep mask. And parlor is the only option I got, really. I don't really need gems right now, though, so let's just keep going. Nook does work there. It puts us in a dangerous position, but I don't think that that's totally improbable. Observatory storeroom. Means I'm riding entirely off the den. Actually, I could go under and do foundation. That's the good thing about what I did here. Let's just ride out storeroom. We'll go back up to den. And then we'll make our way. I don't know exactly what my goal is here, to be honest. Should I just try the parlor game? I guess I should. Oi. Okay. A box with more than one false statement is empty. The black box is empty. A box with no true statements is empty. A box with only true statements is empty. The black box is empty. A box with a statement that is also on another box is empty. And then a box with a true statement is empty. A box with a false statement is empty. The white box is empty. Okay. So there's not any egregiously wrong ones. A box with a statement that's also on another box. Oh, with us, not this statement. So the black box is empty is on both of these. So a box with a statement that is also on another box is empty. If that's true, well, if it's lying, it would be wrong. So that means that is true, which means that both of these have a true statement, which means that this is fully wrong. So a box with a true statement is empty. The white box is empty is not lying. Let's just check the logic. A box with only true statements is empty. Would be a lie? Oh god, I'm getting confused. A box with a statement that is also on another box. These two is empty. The statement is that the black box is empty. Or they're both lying, and then the black box is true, and it does have something in it. I think that might be it. Yeah, wow, okay. We saved that one. Okay, so going back, we have the keys, we have the power, we have an outer room. That's how we got into this predicament. I would love to get the commissary so I could look at that Fen Ares one, but to be honest, the Fen Ares one is the least consequential of the stamps that I need. I need the, what's the one I don't have? I don't have the Costa Rica one, right? So if I have any chance of getting Costa Rica, maybe that's the idea, is to get the stamp for it. Veranda, classroom. Okay, well, classroom is definitely helpful. So let's do that first. Right, this is the art one. Bride, plane. There's a question on the test about it, so it's important to know. Bride, plane, car, pudding, crowbar, deer. Going for another. Commissary, facing the wrong way. Security. Let's redraw. Everything's facing the wrong way. Come on. Bedroom. Still everything's facing the wrong way. Lab. Wonderful. Okay, let's go with lab. And let's see if we could get another letter in the mailroom, shall we? Yep. Each time you draft an upgraded floor plan, baby. Come on. All right. So now we have more of an incentive to draft more rooms. Security, dormitory, bedroom. Security is great like that, actually. And now let's head to the west and then just take it south as far as we can. Workshop is great. Sure, let's use that. Oh, boy. I don't have keycard, do I? Oh, I do have keycard. Because I'm intelligent and I know how to play this game. Mount Holly gift shop. Observatory is good, but I can't chance that right now. Just in terms of the direction it's facing. Vestibule, bedroom. Vestibule hurts a little bit, but especially with the potential of keys there, but garage. Oh, okay, well there's our key problem solved a little bit. Car keys would be nice, actually. Okay. And then let's go this way. Observatory, nursery, corridor. Corridor sucks. But observatory is not bad, actually, now that I think about it. If I do observatory there, I could just reap all the benefits of observatory. Okay. Keys, twins, slice. Great, I got my gem back. And then I want to go from here to my left. Planetarium. I can't do cloister, so I have to do either planetarium or a dormitory. Well, that sucks. Let's go with dormitory. Because it at least has some stuff. Okay, great. So dormitories... So yeah, Costa Rica University, that feels really strong. I wish we could get the stamp, but we'll work on it. And especially, I would love to work on it more because I have had no luck with the upgraded floor plans either, to be honest. All right, weird run. Classroom, great, excellent. Okay, this is our projector room. This is like the history class. Let's come back to this for a second. Let's redraw. Servants' quarters, archives, redraw. Rotunda, hallway, commissary would be great, but it's facing the wrong goddamn direction. Foyer, hallway. I kind of need to use classroom. No, absolutely not. I need to use classroom to do that. I kind of do. All right, classroom to classroom. Which one is this one? I forget. Oh, this is the advanced math one. Okay. Cloister still not really helping us. Commissary here is not bad. Although I really should have something that goes left because I can access from security. I can't access from that side. So I'm feeling I'm going to do this. Letter's been delivered. Excellent. All right, let's go here and try this out. So 5 plus 3 is 8. 15 minus 11 is 4. Times 3 is 12. 5 plus 11 is 16. Times 2 is 32. Divided by 4 is 8. That was surprisingly easy. I'm wondering why. Do I have secure? No, I can't do secret card in there. clock tower, hallway, freezer. Let's do hallway. That's an upgraded and it just gets us forward. I'm fine with that. Walk-in closet, code check, West Wing Hall. Let's go with West Wing Hall. We have more of a chance of getting the rooms we actually need here. Let's go south first. We can actually go Secret Garden here, but I don't really see the need for it. Yeah, I don't want to do that. Clock tower, classroom. Great. Grade 8. Okay, so we only need one more to get the final exam room. And this is the Erosian one. And we've written all this down, but I'm curious to know if there's anything else in this room that will help us now that we have had a lot more experience with Erosian. Ooh. Ajlor Ulgo Nevdao. Yeah, still not much more than I know, which... Oh, maybe I should actually take a look at what she writes. You should remember the Erosian terms for these. Okay, how about this one? Acceptable. Yeah, not much in terms of context. Okay, let's try to go up. Yeah, let's use Secret Garden, why not? Oh, can't. Not in the corner. Interesting. Commissary. Yeah, let's actually do commissary. That's not a bad move here. Buy a bunch of keys. The shovel. And actually some gems, too. Just spend all our money. So, this has to insinuate something, right? Or at least I thought it did. The aviation travel? I don't know. All right, well, here's our classroom. That's nice. So that, we could do final exam if we want to. Maybe I'll hold off on that for now. We have 90 steps. I mean, we're absolutely fine. What do I want to... What do I want to do? Because Classroom isn't going to help me with the sigils. I want a magnifying glass, but I don't currently have the ability to do that with Commissary. Oh, you know what I have to do? I got to go back to room 6, to Classroom 6, because I skipped it. I also have to do more upgraded floor plans, right? Because I owe another stamp. So before I get caught up in all of the final exam stuff, I can do this. Okay, so this is Fensurrection, Orinda Ares versus the Fen Ares group. Is there anything else I can glean from this? I'm not sure. Let's keep going. Alright, that's mid or the end of the... This is depicting the end of Orinda Ares. We got a king with the pentagon shapes around. This is them breaking up the railways. And this has a shit ton of stuff going on. Yellow, green, and red. Is that significant? That would be what? Arch Ares, Nuance, and Fen Ares? It doesn't help as much as I think. History is penned by the victors. Let's go east to security. Now I can use Secret Garden? Yes. Cool. Lots of keys on this one today. Bedroom, closet, nursery. I guess we're going bedroom. Good. Got a refund on the keys. Rotunda. Bunk room is an archive floor plan. Do I have exactly 2 green rooms? I don't. Is that enough? Or do I make my... Do I take chances that I'll get 4 more rooms that are upgraded? I feel like this might be enough. Let's take bunk room. I'm okay with that. And if I need more, I'll go through foundation and do that because I have the ability to do that. I don't think I have access to this door. I think I sealed this off, right? Oh, maybe not. No, I did. I did. I don't have access to, at all to any of that. This disappointed me. Yeah. Okay, so... How the hell are we getting back? So, I want to go to mailroom before anything else. So let's go to security. Down to lab, and then we're snaking our way back down. Right, and I have fruit waiting for me in some spaces. Okay. The deep bassoon is a fun, always a fun instrument. Okay. What else did I get? We've done that. Fan Aries. If you do end up accessing the admin controls in Blackbridge Grotto, I'm sure you've noticed the sealed circular door to the left of the terminal. As you've likely concluded for yourself, this door can only be opened if 3 different microchips are inserted in the central pedestal. Normally, all 3 microchips are kept secured in 3 other locations, but I decided to make it easy for you and have left 1 of the microchips in the grotto for ready access. However, you will have to find a new clue or 2 to find the others. Oh, hello. I'm honestly very impressed with the number of experiments you've been successful in executing. I certainly wasn't expecting to write this many letters when I started our correspondence. Frankly, I'm not quite sure what other advice I can offer in the blind without knowing directly what the challenges you currently face on the estate. For all I know, you've long since reached room 46 and are just continuing your unaccompanied exploration, happy and free of the maids and staff crowding the halls and getting in your way. I can't say I blame you, and I'm sure the other members of the household are quite enjoying their extended vacation. Speaking strictly for myself, however, I cannot wait to get back and begin working with you directly. Helping you through these letters has only whetted my imagination, and to be candid, our collaboration in this correspondence has reminded me so much of working with Mary. I know she's proud of you. Until the day I return, Randolph. Wow, that's beautiful. All right. Oh, it's snowy. Okay. So I can't tell what transportation, but that is for sure snow. So let me just do a quick switch over. There we go. Okay, great. So snowy is Costa Rica. So the only one I don't know is nuance, and that might be normal based on that stamp image, but I don't want to guess that. Normal is a weird guess to make. Transportation is really just where we're left with. Horseback. It's not going to be camels. I mean, we could eliminate some for sure. Costa Rica's on an island. Turtle is unique to Vera, so that almost is not even an option. It could be naval. Horseback? Oh, I don't know. That's a weird one. Morajai, we're almost there, though. If moat, we just need to know whether it's poetic, academic, agricultural, tribal. I need to know more about Morajai. How do I know about more about Morajai? Maybe actually, you know what? I wonder if the explanations of the Morajai puzzles in all of the sigil rooms will help. Right? Will that help with the context at all? This is going to be a really weird episode. Because now I think I'm going to attempt to do the fucking final exam. With a lot more confidence than before. Okay, let's do it. Hello, me from the future here, and I made a really grave, terrible, stupid mistake. I managed to record over most of the rest of this episode with this screen you're seeing right in front of you, instead of the actual footage of the game, which is amazing. Very angry at myself, but what I'm going to do for it instead is I'm going to use some previous footage from previous episodes as well as some screenshots and some B-roll that I collected of this run of the game to try to as closely represent what the audio is. I might do some cuts here and there just so I can make it shorter because you don't actually have to sit there watching me redo this final exam a bunch of times. So here you go. Here is the remainder of the episode as best as I can up until when I realized that I made a grave mistake. Thank you everybody for sticking with me. I sincerely appreciate your dedication to this playthrough and enjoy the rest of the episode. Knowing what I know now, I think I probably just have to get an A, right? I just have to pass and ace the test. And I don't need to freak out now about this final exam. Here we go. Settle in. Final exam. I have my notes out. It's an open book exam. A year certainly flew by. Let's do it. Round 2, motherfuckers. Okay, Sam has left his house at 6 a.m., drove 3 hours north and passed 8 flags. He then turned northwest at Tanner Fork, drove another 3 hours and passed 4 additional flags of the same color before arriving at Trinsdale at noon. Which color were the flags? They should be red, because those are all Orinda Aries. Right? Tanner Fork, Trinsdale, that's all Fen Aries. And the scenario above, where does Sam live? The grand city of Fen. Yes. What color is most associated with hallways? Orange. Which of the following would be the least patriotic room pairing? A chapel in Fen Aries, that's good. A shop, which is yellow in Arch Aries, that's good. Greenhouse in Quarrica, yep. Which color is the fruit that gives you +3 steps when consumed? Oh no, why did I forget? What color is the fruit that gives you +3 steps? We're going to skip it for a second. Solve the following problem. 5 minus 5 plus 2. Or times 2. 5 minus 5 times 2 is a 0. Solve the following problem. +5 times 2 is 10. Plus 2 is 12. Times 2 is 24. Solve the following problem. +5 minus 2 is 3. Times 5 is 15. Plus 1, 16. Minus 5, 11. Solve the following problem. 10 minus 4. Oh, hello. Come on. Catch myself. 10. 40 divided by 5 is 8. Minus 4. 4. 10, 40, 8, 4. Great. Solve the following problem. 1 minus 4 is -3. Times 2 is -6. Plus 7 is 1. 3 minus 4 is -1. Times 8 is -8. Divided by 2 is -4. Plus 5 is 1. Which element on the periodic table is represented by the symbol C? That is carbon. Which element appears in the periodic table directly below helium? That would be neon. Which of the following is not a real element found on the periodic table? I'm going to check that. Which element on the periodic table is represented by the symbol Ag? That would be silver. Oxygen is O. Argon is Ar. Silver is Ag. Which element could not be used in the spelling of the word clues? We'll check that also. How many elements are on the top row of the periodic table? 2. Which of the city Fen is south of which small body of water? We'll check that as well. How many city in Fen Aries are larger than Reddington? How many cities in Fen Aries are larger than Reddington? I'm not sure. Which of the following realms is not near Fen Aries? Arch Aries, Araja Nuance, Kororika would be the answer there. Which sigil core denotes the realm of Arch Aries? That would be the mountains. Which realm is directly north of Araja? That would be Fen Aries. Where are you right now as you take this exam? Mount Holly, Reddington, Fen Aries, Featherfall. Nope. Mount Holly, Oris, Reddington. Mount Holly, Reddington, Fen Aries. Yes. Place, city, country. Which 2 pieces of art would be best paired to depict the letter B? Hey, bale, ale, birds. Yeah. Which of the following pieces of art was not displayed in the grade 5 classroom? Pry, Flan, Bride, Jungle. Which of the following pieces of art is not displayed in Mount Holly's entrance hall? Face, Ace. Trinsdale. Real Eyes. That one. Can you find the difference? Realm. Isn't this like Real? I could be wrong about that. Doesn't it mention that this figure is Real, Real? No, because that's a Raja, so that's not going to be... I would say Aries, but that's not going to be it either. I think it's Realm, so it's Realm, right? Because they call these all Realm. Which sigil core? Realm. So these are realms. I think it's M. Who is the first crowned ruler of Fen Aries? Which, I know this answer, but let me just confirm it, because it's been a minute. General Teskin. In which era were the railways of Fen Aries destroyed? Shit, now I'm forgetting all the history stuff. How long did the War of the Fifth Era last? 22 years. What is the first capital city of Fen Aries? Which realm gifted Fen Aries a dirigible to headway their victory parade at the conclusion of the war? If we're calling a dirigible the blimp, that's probably Nuance. I don't think I knew that one before. The deciding battle of the War of Fifth Era was fought on the southern shores of near what famous landmark? We'll figure. We have a lot of time. We're gonna figure this out. So, 6 squared is 36. -3 squared is 9. -3 is 6. This is just flipped. So this is 21. 11 plus 3 rounded. Oh, wait, no. It's 11 plus... 11 divided by 3 rounded to the nearest ones place. So 11 divided by 3 is like a little bit higher, right? It's closer to 4 than it is to 3. It's 3 and 6 repeating, so it's closer to 4. 4 squared, which is 16, plus 5 is 21, times 2 is 42, minus 1 is 41, flipped is 14. 16 plus 5, 21, 42, minus 1, 40, 14. 5 divided by 2, 2.5, times 3 is 7.5, rounded up to the 10th place is 10, minus 1 is 9, times 6 is 54, plus 100, rounded to the nearest 100th place, which is probably 200. So let me try it again. 5 divided by 2 is 2.5, Times 3 is 7.5. Rounded up to 10. -1 is 9. Times 6 is 54. Add 100 is 154. Rounded up to the nearest hundredths place is 200. What is the Eurasian word for house? Aj house. I have it somewhere. Hold on. House is hue. What does nevyet mean in Eurasian? So nev is new. Yate is gate. New gate. The phrase trevenle can be translated in several ways. Which of the following is not an acceptable interpretation of this phrase? Ven is old, or the end of. Lay is the lack of myself. So, and tre is tree. So tree, old, lack of myself. So, probably that one. How would you say the following phrase in Eurasian? You have a very, very long name. Jor here is the only one that has the word name in it. Joram is large name. So it's this one. How would you tell it in Eurasian? Count me out. Rajanai. Nope. El countvo. I count away. That's probably close. Leave, lu. I won't leave. Le. Lack of myself. El countvo is probably the best. Using the provided Eurasian terms for cardinal directions above, what would be the clearest way you could give directions to someone at point A to get them to point B? Ma'in. Small. In is north. Okay. I don't know if I ever wrote that down. In is north. East is south. So, small north, east, large east. What is my small tree? East, south, small west. That's a little bit much. Ajin, first north, east towards tree, south last, away from tree. Yeah, that's that one. In ancient Arindia, the number 8 was considered by Ajuran scholars to be mathematically near perfect, though many of the secular sphere held that only this advanced form of 8 was worthy of numerical perfection. So I think it's this one, but it's 8 squared, which would be 64, and then a number much bigger than 64. It's 64 squared. We've done this before, I think. It's 4,096. 8 rounded to the 10th place is 10. Squared is 100. Not bad. 8 squared is 64. Rounded to the nearest 10th place, that's 70. And then 8 squared is 64. Flipped is 46. That's going to be the answer, is this one. Okay, so now, how many questions do I need to find the answers for? Which of the following is not a real element found? LL. Which element could not be used in the spelling of the word clues? Uranium is U for sure. Carbon is C. Chlorine is Cl. Radon element symbol is Rn. That is correct. Radon is the correct answer there. The city of Fen is south of which small body of water? Morning Bay. How many cities in Fen areas are larger than Reddington? Larger than Reddington, 2. It's Oris and Fen Aries. In which era were the railways of Fen Aries destroyed? I can look through the book. I can look through my screenshots of the book. Let's do that real quick. It's not the 3rd. Because that's when they were built. Sixth era. Which was the first capital city of Fen Ares. While I have the book up, we might as well do that too. It's not Oris. It's going to be the grand city of Fen. The deciding battle of the War of the Fifth Era was fought on the southern shores. If it's southern shores, it's going to be Colossus Orinda. It's a leading question. They're just trying to get you to know. Oh, complete. The hasty music has ceased. Okay. So that's it. We've done it. Final exam complete. Now, here's the only thing. I just noticed something. In the process of doing that, I'm rereading this history book, and here's the page that reads Third Era. The succeeding generations of their heirs, meaning the heirs of the 3 realms that we're on the continent of, continued that tradition, and the Third Era was defined by the construction of a vast network of railways that spanned the length and breadth of the land, linking the northern mountains of Arch Ares to the southern shores of Araja. This development facilitated travel and commerce between the 3 realms, further strengthening their bond and laying the foundation for the promise of a prosperous and bright future, a promise that would, unfortunately, as my readers will soon find, not be kept. Does that mean that we're on railways? Does that mean that Arch Ares and Araja are both railways, which is why we couldn't get that? Because we never did railways. I for sure I didn't check railways. I think maybe we try that. Because it said multiple times that Fen Ares railways were destroyed. And we know for a fact that their transportation is roads and carriages now. But it said nothing about Arch Ares and Araja. And it does make sense, like society-wise, that that at least Arch Ares would keep the roadway, that would keep the railways. So, that said, let's head down there, and with the remainder of my time here, let's see what else we can cook up. This has been a ride today. I feel like every time I play this game, I could be only playing for 30 minutes, but I feel like I'm playing for 8 hours because of how much like mental energy I have to put into every single one of these recording sessions. Especially at this point, like there's no more, let's fun and experiment. This is like, we got to just get in there and do it, which is fun in its own way. I'm curious to know how many other games have like this level of, if there are any games that have this level of insane networking. I don't know if that's the right term for what I'm trying to say. Okay. So, Arch Ares. Let's do the one that turns everything first. What am I going for? I'm going for Stormy here. Okay, Stormy for sure. What am I changing here? I'm changing... Okay, this is the thing that I want. So that's trains. And then we think industrial. Yellow is the lines. Industrial is the box. Jagged. And then 3 moats. Let's certainly try it. Oh my god. Thank fucking Christ. Okay. We have done it. The Arch Ares was the very first realm to introduce a new color to the traditional monochromatic tiles of the box. Given the number of ship routes and trade relationships between the 2 realms, this is not surprising. Fittingly, the variation itself was based on the brass compasses manufactured in Arch Ares that were often traded to sailors in exchange for the valued Moragi puzzle boxes. When yellow tiles are pressed, they move north. Okay. How about this guy? We arrived here after a few days of sailing. and it made me realize how much more convenient it would have been in the old days when the railway tracks extended all the way north. Arch Aries is a destination with I am well acquainted, having traveled here countless times on business for Cinca. This time, however, I will avoid the familiar towns and factories and will instead trek along the northern coast, an area with which I am wholly unfamiliar. Herbert. There's our stamp. Whoa. Wow, that's gorgeous. Okay. I feel real good. That was great. I'll pull up my chart in a second. Which other ones do I feel confident? I mean, is Araja also then railways? I think it's gotta be, right? If Arch Aries by that same token is... So, flower... poetic... violet... Oh my god! God damn it! Okay, that's... wow. Okay, we've done it. Araja. Wow, gorgeous art. I was a little disappointed that there has not been a drop of rain during my time here, as every Arajan story I've ever heard has begun with rain. I suppose the anecdotes I make on this trip will have to do with that without that flavorful setting. However, even without the rain, the puddles and ponds that dot the countryside make this place feel different than home. Loria Yena Ajlor Loon, Herbert. Okay. The puzzle boxes of Morajai spread to Araja not through port towns as they had in other realms, but by train routes from the north. When violet tiles were introduced, they were created as a simple reflection of the variation first introduced by Arch Aries some years later. When violet tiles were pressed, they moved south. I'm gonna do all of this shit later. I don't care. Like I know there's just allowance in there. So I just realized I made the dumbest mistake I think I've made in my entire career, where I kept the fucking chart on rather than switching to see everything that I've just worked on. So all of my footage of me getting the last 2 sigils, I didn't record, which is fucking brain dead. The test is whatever. I hope I can replicate a little bit of what I just did. I'll have to figure this out later, not in the moment, but if I don't, I'm gonna just kind of run through. You heard what I'm gonna keep the audio regardless of what I do. So I figured out the Arch Aries symbol and the Araja symbol based on the railway mention inside the History of Arindia book. And now I have 3 left. I have 3 realms left. And I was about to go and check in on the next one, which I'm glad I fucking did, because if I didn't, I would have probably swept through all of these without checking. So let me just check one more time that I'm correct. Okay, great. So Morajai we know is white, or at least we're guessing is white. Oh no, that's white. Okay, great. And now we don't know the symbol exactly, but we're guessing it's windy. Come on. All right, so windy, white. Oh, that's gonna rotate it again. Morajai we know is naval, so it has to be all 8. Desert, turtles. Okay, great. And now this one. So we have windy, white, naval, and then in terms of what symbol it is, it's not metropolitan, it's not academic, it's not industrial. I mean, we could try spiritual, but it's probably not that. Yep. It's not poetic. It could be tribal. It's the only one that really feels like it could be tribal. And it's not. This is agricultural. Martial. I mean, we could just try them all, really, but... Oh, you know what? They could be academic because of the boxes. Hold on, let's try that, and then maybe we'll call it there. Come on. No. Okay. All right. I am still kind of reeling from the realization that I didn't record the last half hour of this game, so I'm gonna call it here. I hope I found a solution to show you guys kind of what that was. But regardless, this was a good episode. I'm excited to see what happens with the final exam, but we'll get to that in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a like and subscribe if you want to see future episodes. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye, everybody.